Welcome back, everybody, to Joe's Bibles. This is Joe, and today we're going to talk about the CSB, the Christian Standard Bible, and I'm going to give you my thoughts now that I have completed a full read-through of this translation from Genesis to Revelation. So first, I started reading this translation on August 21st of this year and finished it on November 23rd, which is Turkey Day. That's Thanksgiving. I really like this translation. I think it is extremely smooth and it's reminiscent of the New International Version, the 1984 version. As I was reading the CSB, it reminded me of the NIV 1984, which has significant meaning for me because I was saved in 1992 and that was the translation I used. Now, let me go over the places where I do think it shines. So this is video number 3, I believe, of my what I think about this translation. I did a 1-month read through or a 1-month update, 3 months, whatever. This is the final one, and I'm gonna tell you that I believe this translation really shines in the poetry section, which I know is controversial because people don't think it's very poetic. And I also think, now that I've done reading the New Testament, it really shines in the New Testament. It is extremely clear, especially in the epistles. So let me show you a few places in the New Testament where I really like it. So let's turn to Matthew. Matthew chapter 6, verse 9 says, "Therefore you should pray like this. Our Father, your name be honored as holy." Now, I really love the way that's phrased because if you are used to translations like the ESV, which I am used to, they use hallowed be thy name, which I understand what that means, but I do like the way that the CSB makes it really clear, your name be honored as holy. Another place in the New Testament that I really like the way that the CSB rendered a phrase is in Romans chapter 3, verse 4. So at the beginning of verse 4, in other translations like the ESV or the NASB, it'll say, "May it never be." But listen to the way that the CSB phrases it. Instead of "may it never be," they say, "absolutely not." Pretty straightforward, right? Less poetic, yes, absolutely, but absolutely not gets to the point. So I really like the way the CSB rendered that. One place that I didn't like in the New Testament was Galatians chapter 2, verse 20, and that's my life verse. And this isn't a deal breaker, but I do wish that they had stayed with a specific word. So in Galatians 2:20, it says, "I have been crucified with Christ, and I no longer live, but Christ lives in me." Pretty basic, right? It's pretty consistent with the other translations. Then it says, "The life I now live in the body." And that's what I don't like. I wish they had stuck with the word "the flesh," because that would have been consistent, theologically more dense or rich if they had used the word flesh, because that's all over the place in Galatians. And Paul is trying to make a point when he says the flesh rather than the body. Here's another rendering of a phrase that I really like in Psalm 23. It says, "The Lord is my shepherd." Okay, that's every translation, right? But I like what they say, "I have what I need." So in another translation like the ESV, it'll say, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." Now that's very poetic, but you got to give the CSB some points here. I just love that "I have what I need" gets to the point. Now, I do need to correct myself because in the previous review or update of the reading of the CSB, I raised a big stink about the phrase, "the declaration of the Lord," or "the Lord's declaration," and I didn't like it because I felt like it was choppy and it broke things up and it just didn't flow as well. But after doing some research and also hearing some feedback from all of you who saw that video, you made a point that Jeremiah was trying to use the phrase "the Lord's declaration" because it was closer to the actual Hebrew, and it was phrased that way because Jeremiah was trying to get the attention of the readers. It was meant to be jarring. I read it as really choppy and blocky when I read it in the CSB, but now that I've done some research, it is intentionally done that way in the original form in the Hebrew. It was meant to be choppy and meant to get your attention. So I take that back. And the rendering or the passage that I was referring to is from Jeremiah chapter 23. Am I a God who is only near? This is the Lord's declaration. And not a God who is far away. Can a person hide in secret places where I cannot see him? The Lord's declaration. Do I not fill the heavens and the earth? The Lord's declaration. When I first read that, I thought, man, that's really choppy. But I think that was the intention of Jeremiah. I see what the translators of the CSB were trying to do. So I really like this translation after having read through the entire Old Testament and New Testament. And I could see myself preaching from this translation and teaching from this translation. It's faithful to the original language, as much as I know in this quick read through, right? But I really like this translation. Smooth, clear, gets to the point. And again, people don't like the poetry. I like the poetry in this because it's easy to understand. Yes, it's less poetic, but it gets to the meaning right away. So I want to thank those of you who followed along with me in my 4-month read-through of the CSB. If you followed along with me, thank you so much. And if you finished all the way, good job. Man, that is so encouraging that you are finishing the scriptures and doing it in 4 months with me. Just amazing. And that is it for this video. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment. Tell me how you feel about the CSB. Like this video, and if you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching the video. I appreciate you. Have a great day.